From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here, holding it down in Kentucky.
How y'all are gets me every single time.
I thought everybody said that. I guess that's where I grew up, I guess.
Yeah, it must be. But anyways, we have a very special guest on tonight. Miss Jen Mues. Her and her husband both kayak fish. And she's one of the two women that I've wanted to have on here the most as far as in the fishing industry. And we are very blessed that she agreed to come on and talk to us about fishing and being a woman in the industry, which can be difficult for everybody. And you ready to bring her on?
Let's do it. And she's really good on marketing and graphic design, so she's good about everything. So y'all get your questions ready for kayaking and techniques. I know I got some kayak questions, so I'm looking forward to it because we got the guru on tonight.
There you go. All right, let's bring on Miss Jen Mues.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to finally meet you guys. We've been talking so long, I thought we were live the whole time.
No, we good. We good.
Oh, so if you don't mind talking a little bit about, tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you got into kayak fishing and such.
Well, my name's Jen Mues, Jennifer Mues. My husband and I kayak fish. My family did for a long time. We started out in paddle boats and just your regular. We've always been lake people, so we started out in paddle boats. And once my family got too big and outgrew the paddle boat, we were almost sunk it because we were so large. The kids got a little bigger, and I don't know, one day they had a Father's Day sale. And of course I had to buy two. I can't just buy one kayak. So we bought a couple kayaks about, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, brought them home I only had a car at the time. So I loaded them both. We looked crazy. We were on the interstate flying down the interstate with two banana yellow kayaks. I mean, they were your run of the mill, just off the hot flash sale. And I'll tell you, we got in those boats. We let the kids take the paddle boat, and it was so different. And once I was by myself, and we were able to really see things, and you're quiet, the fishing just got so much better. I didn't have to crawl on the rocks. I didn't have to, I was sitting. But I'm telling you, those old kayaks were terrible on your body. They hurt your butt, your back. Like it was so painful. And we went to fish. We just did it. You eventually do get used to it. I'm telling you, you do. But we learned lots of lessons. Getting sunburned, if you forgot your legs were still showing out of the hole. We also inside kayaks. We've come a long ways, baby.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we can fast forward, and now we're in two big, giant 12'7" SS bona fide kayaks. Are specifically made for fishing. Motors, electronics. Like I said, I just want to. I used to be able to paddle for 10 miles, 15 miles. I know I can't do that now, and I would be all sore. But these you get to stand on. You get to, Anyway, I'm from Nebraska. I'm married. I've been married for about 21 years. I was teasing before we got on. I can't remember. It's 21 or 22, but we have two kids. My son is graduated, and he is about 21. He's going to be 21 here in July. And then I've got a daughter that's graduating from high school and headed to college at the University of Nebraska. So we're all kinds of busy. We're crazy. In the meantime, we tournament fish, and I also run a marketing business in the fishing industry where I do all kinds of ads, shirts, graphics, hats, podcasts, stuff like yours, you name it, all kinds of stuff. Whatever I can do to keep me in this industry and fishing, I mean, really is the only reason I do it. But
I understand that.
yeah, we've gotten to do some fun things. Last year, we got to fly down and put on at the biggest tournament in the West, and have I did some of the photography and some of their marketing out there. And I used to do it from home, but they asked us if we wanted to fly out there, and I'm like, yes. So we have we've been fortunate. We've been attending ICAST and doing a bunch of marketing down there. We like to attend the Bassmaster Classics too, and do some marketing there. We actually did something kind of cool. We met. I had he's like a super fan. He's 38 years old and he's autistic. His name's Matt. I bet he's on here watching. Anyway, I had worked for a company for years and hired him as a pro staff because he was so good at taking photography, and he was actually really good. And we would become really close. And I don't know if one year, I think it was last Christmas, he'd asked his folks if for Christmas if he could go to the Bassmaster Classic with me and my husband. The only catch was the Bassmaster Classic was like in where was it? It was in Tennessee. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was in Tennessee. It was like 18-hour drive for us. Knoxville.
Yeah, Knoxville. Yeah, I was there.
Like an 18-hour drive for us. Like, I thought we were never going to get there. But we met Matt's folks, and I had been talking back and forth with them, and we ended up taking him, to the Bassmaster Classic. And you guys, like, he was a star there. He knew all the people. They were like, Matt. Like, he finally found, I felt like, his element. Like, fishing is definitely his gig. But we've been doing, a few things that are out of the ordinary. I don't know. I suppose, I know it's still marketing, but that for me was so beyond, like, that was so heartwarming for me. And to see somebody like come alive in there. And he actually, his dad just took him to the this year's Bass. We didn't get to go this year, so I feel like I was so mad I didn't get to go. But Matt's dad drove him. I think their ride was 10 hours or 7 hours, but he took Matt all the way down to Texas this year to watch. Which, oh my gosh, this year's Bassmaster class was like a blowout where they caught so many big fish. But Matt got to go to the Classic, enjoy going again. So we got ourselves like somebody that absolutely is emulsified in fishing and absolutely loves it. I hate to make the whole show about him, but I love the guy. He just got gifted an old boat, and I know he's rode it as a child, and the gentleman gave him the boat. As Matt gets older, he's been really into fishing and boating, and so I'm sure he's watching on here. He's excited to do all this.
Rich Lowry says, "Hi, Jen." And
Rich Lowry, hey.
Alvin says, "Hello, everybody." He hosts the JCS fish streaming channel on the American Angler Outdoors. So I'd like to say hi to him. Rick Amato, a fan. I don't think he's missed a show yet.
Yeah, he's a regular.
Leesburg, Florida. So
that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I've met some crazy people. I mean, I'm so modest. I'm not really sure that I have fans, but people say they like to watch what I do. I enjoy doing it. It really is my thing. I mean, I know I wear lashes, and I know I wear I have my fingernails painted, but you guys, I love fishing. There's no doubt. We were talking about techniques, and I'm a buzzbait fisherman. I will throw my buzzbait until my arm falls off. I mean, I will, if I can't catch them, that way, I'll finesse fish some fish. But I've been having a lot of luck on a rattle trap lately. I mean, it's cold water fishing around here right now, and the lipless crank has been money for me. I mean, I got second. I got second for the month. I would have I didn't submit my fish on time last night, and it closed down. I had troubles. I didn't download the app. I've always went through and did it through online to submit my fish, and last night it wouldn't let me do that, so I panicked. I went to bed really mad last night. I'm just like you guys. When I miss a fish, I mean, I'm pouting. I mean, I wanted to win so bad. I missed first place by not that far, guys. Like,
oh no.
So, word to the wise: do not wait till the end of the tournament night to upload your fish. I'm kind of a sandbagger. I don't know if you guys know what sandbagging is. It's the same terminology. I waited till 1 minute too late. They shut it down a minute before it was supposed to close. And I was mad because my fish was still, we live in such a small town, there's no service. I saw my photo there spinning, and it shut off.
It happens.
It looks like Dustin whooped me, but he didn't. Okay? Just for the record.
You'll get him.
I got him before, and I've never let him forget it. But I swear to God, the only person I'm trying to beat is my own husband. And so when I saw it this morning and it put my name below his, I was like, that's not even right. I'm competitive like that. We are super competitive. We even have sides that we choose because there's two of us, right? I mean, he could leave his stuff loaded and go get on his own spot, which is fine, but it's inconvenient, especially if we're practicing or just fishing. I'm still mad about it that his says that he got caught. He did not whoop me. That's it. That's it.
It was on a technicality.
No, I was greedy and I should have put my stuff in before that. I knew he wasn't that far behind me though. I mean, I had the place where I'm able to catch fish, like they're large for a smallmouth, but they're not large like a largemouth.
Right.
But they fought like heck. I did catch something new that I did not know exists, and I believe that I refer to it as a mean mouth because I believe it is a largemouth bass that mated with a smallmouth bass. Okay.
There's a ton of them in Tennessee. Ton of them down in Tennessee.
I'm telling you, I know that the smallmouth were brought in anyway, right? That's just an Eastern thing. I know they were. Okay. But I did not. Of course they do. Of course they crossbreed because it's the only two fish in the species, black bass species that are there.
Yep.
But I didn't know if there's some kind of rule and it didn't happen or so I go out and I Google it and I'm like, oh, be damned, they were different. The mouths look different. The ones that I caught. First of all, I've always said hands down, smallmouth are the freaking craziest fighting fish ever. That's not true, guys. It ain't true. Yeah. It's these mean mouth. We caught some. Yeah. I still, and it's not just one. And I'm telling you that fish fought. All of them that I caught fought harder than any smallmouth I've ever caught, hands down. Hands down. I thought, what the heck? Like these fish are absolutely crazy today. We had two of the best days. We caught so many fish that day. If we weren't catching them on the lipless crank, the rattle trap, of course, and I was matching the hatch. They look just like I picked the ones that look like smallmouth. But if we hadn't have been fishing that, if we weren't catching them on that, we were using John Galita's grub and it's an old school bait. Comes in packs 25s. He is a huge mentor of mine. He used to be a Bassmaster. You guys will have to look him up. He is a superb man that is always he would write me letters and cheer me on, tell me, "You go, girl." Like a huge mentor for me. And that's Galita's bait with a Z. Galita. Yep.
Gotcha.
Anyway. So I've got some rod sponsors. I've got some other things. I mean, if we're here to talk fishing, I mean, gosh, like I said, we're missing the national championship right now. We should be going to that. But we'll probably fish the Bassmaster. We'll probably fish the Nebraska Sticks this year. And it kind of depends. Like I said, my girl's graduating, so it depends on. We've been to a lot of colleges. We've been to a lot of events for her. It's kind of put a dent in my fishing for a bit, but it's certainly going to be another killer year. I think we're going to probably go down to, I know that we may do some marketing down at Red Crest.
Yep.
And then I think that Paul's next tournament, I work for a major league fisherman right now, and he's asked us to come down, do the photography, take care of some of his stuff. And he'll get us there and get us back and pay us to do that. And we're like, that is what we want.
Not bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been doing this for a while now, and this is my gig. This is where I want to be. I hope that, you know, every year we add a new company, or we go to a new series, we try something. I think at this point, I'm getting to a stage where I want to, you know, maybe give back a little bit more. My husband and I talked about doing, I'm in the middle. I'm in the center of the United States. Like, why not everybody come to me? I might one time, you know, try to pull off, I don't know if I want to just stick with women and maybe do an event with just women. Or if we'll go full out competitive rocker style and try to get people. We have some nice areas to fish up in, and, you know, smallmouth fishery and largemouth, some good places to run some tournaments that are fairly close to where we're at. And hopefully, you know, maybe give back as far as creating a 501c3. I've been really kind of putting a lot into thought into that. I'm a cancer survivor, so I don't know that I'll go that route, but I think it will probably be more on the mental health issue of it, just because I think all of us, you know, for me specifically, my getaway is being outside. I would prefer, even standing here, you know, all day. I'm like, please, somebody get me outside. But I think that we could probably do some more. We're really kind of inching our way kind of over in that direction, maybe doing some guiding as well. We both are in this full time. It's always changing and evolving. We work for different companies. We may do something, you know, like set up a website for somebody, and then we might do something else, or we might do something like this. But I'm telling you, as soon as it's fishing time, we work just like you do, and we stop and we head out to the lake and go just completely rejuvenate ourselves out there and fish our tails off, because I don't know, that at least we have something that we truly, truly enjoy.
Absolutely.
And there's not really a lot to do here, so fishing is our game. That's for sure.
You should have talked your daughter into coming a little bit further east to SU. It's a great communication school. You know, Oneida Lake, Thousand Islands, Champlain.
Let's not even get her started. We still have to get her, like, she's only 4 hours if she decides that this crap ain't for her. So you guys, she's a go-getter. She's just like her dad and I think we've been good role models to, you know, really go after our dreams. My son is totally opposite. He's like, I think I'll work a regular job. That's too stressful for me. I'll just do this. So, I mean, we've had kind of both scenarios. You couldn't change this for the world for me. This is what I really love. Like, I would rather be with, and women are becoming, you know, there's a lot of women that I even thought about maybe I would do some co-angling if somebody asked me if I could afford it. I mean, I'd love that. I've got my own rod company. I mean, I heck yeah, let's go. But I will tell you, it is way different. I promise you, it's the same. I got up on the boat. We went out and fished California. We fished oh my gosh, we got to fish the, what? Yeah, the California Delta. I knew I was going to mess it up. You guys, they had sea lions there. They were size of sofas. It was incredible. We caught a lot of fish there. We enjoyed ourselves out there. The city life is not for me. I wasn't really used to that. That was a huge eye opener. But the fishing was still legit. And as soon as you got out into that area, it looked just as pristine and nice as, I mean, there's some cool things there. We've been able to fish a lot of cool places, but I think that's more why I'm into it. I like the adventure. Like, I like to go see things. and go places and see everybody. Like, I want to meet you guys. Like, I want to meet the next guy. Be like, hey, how are you? And talk fishing. That is really my game. I mean, my poor family, I'm sure that they probably all get tired of it. Not my immediate family, but else around, and they're not like us. They're not fishermen. So they probably get tired of talking about all that fishing.
A lot of people don't understand. Barking Rugers, thank you for the compliment. He says, how do we keep finding all the excellent guests? And it's not easy. I mean, there's millions of people on the web and stuff like that, and it's like, well, I personally, I just look and like, okay, who do I want to talk to? Who do I want? Who do I? And I watch your social media, and it's like, it seems like every day you're out there on the water catching fish, and you're having.
You guys,
fun.
we try to go. It's my job too. If I don't market myself, I can't continue to grow. Like some days you're like, oh man, I have to go fishing. No, I don't say that. I'm like, oh no, I have to go fishing today. We stress it a lot because it is still, I go out and take a lot of pictures of sunsets. I'm a photographer. I love those kinds of things. I believe it's still kind of crazy as I've gotten older, and I can tell our eyesight's getting a little worse. And I've had eye surgery. I know as I get older, I'm going to lose my ability, I think, to see. We've got a lot of eye disease in my family, and they check me for these things. But I think it's just a mad rush to try to show the world what we get to see out there, because there are some beautiful things.
Absolutely.
And because I take my expensive ass cameras out there. I don't care. For me, I want to bring it back. My mom she's also old enough to where she can't go do that stuff anymore. My family, my dad and the rest of them, they think that we're, they're so proud of how far we've really tried to come. And I mean, for them, they think that we're super famous, and they were really great for them. They think that we're so, for us, it really is, it's a job, and it's not probably going to make us $1 million, but like I told you earlier, you're going to be able to live a life. I mean, you're going to be able to live. We are never going to have tons of money doing this. We want to fish too much to make a whole bunch of money, and I'm not going to say never, because we can get a lot of sponsorship dollars. That helps out a lot. I've been lucky enough to be a sponsored angler and really work for those things, but I also give back. I do graphics for those company. I work for these company. I turn that around and try to pay it forward, because they've sponsored me. I also use their products, and you guys know as well as I do, not all sponsors are created equal, and sometimes you get, a lot different things from a smaller company versus those larger companies. But there's probably nothing, and it's, there's probably nothing that you can't really do as long as you set your mind to it. I feel like if you really want something, you're going to go after it. I'm blessed to, obviously put out enough social media that I found you guys, right?
There you go.
I've been figuring out the algorithm stuff, and I've been realizing, and I think 2 months ago, I was able to hit a crazy 9 million insights. Like my chart went off my Facebook insights went off the wall, and I'm like, it's probably just some glitch. I've gotten it back. I'm at 5.1 million, so I understand that is so huge. Like, even my brain can't comprehend that. I love people so much. I think I'm just out to meet the next fisherman and go find the next spot and go compete. It's very simple. And I get to do this with my husband. And we still, get at each other. If he's fishing over where I normally fish, I speak up right before I'm like, I'm taking this over here, right here. I don't know where you're going. But, in all fairness, last time we were out, last fall, we've realized that we do a lot of damage on beaver dams. And so you fight over the beaver dams because we catch a lot of fish on the beach. I'm like, hey, you can have that one, but that one is mine over there. No, we still compete.
Who wins those arguments?
I don't know. It depends on who's winning, you know?
Okay, I got you.
No,
No.
you know, I'm kind of a bossy old huss. I mean, I try to boss. I'm 5 foot. I have to be tough. I have to. It's the rules. You still
Now-
compete. I want to be the winner.
We usually give our guests 15 minutes to talk about sponsors and stuff like that towards the end. But scrolling through your social media, one thing that I did see that I thought was incredible was the Yak Attack.
They are a great company. We have been with Yak Attack for several years now. They give back as far as they give us a lot of, like, if when it comes to social media, it's really nice to have people give back to you and say, oh, you know, the Muses are really good at this, or they've done this. And they, I suppose we use all those products. So I've tried to use the technology to tag their products to make sure that people can buy them, you know, from my photos. I've run into a new Rock Porch has decided to make me one of their influencers and content creators out there. It's a new platform for people like myself and for anybody fishing, really. But it's I hate to explain it like this, but they also offer a way to do affiliated marketing. And when Yak Attack has all those products, I'm actually able to take a photo, put my link in there, and get, you know, a certain percentage of it given back to me. And people are buying the heck out of these products anyway. I use them. You know, I've reviewed these things. Yak Attack is probably, it's so great because the owner started this out of his garage. I mean, they were originally, it's Luther Cyphers, and he originally owned Bonafide and the Kayak company and Yak Attack. They were sister companies. And he would go on to sell Bonafide, and now it's under different, has new owners. But that is where we initially, they were our first sponsors that really believed in us, took us on as my whole family, the kids too. They put us in 4 kayaks. We were able to market for them, do all those kinds of things. And we actually go out to ICAST and work the booths and, you know, put in our time doing that. And sometimes we work at the Bassmaster Classic for them, but we still have our original 12'7" boats and some of the SS 117s. So as far as how long those things would last you, I mean, we're in our 7th or 8th year in those original kayaks. So you know that those kayaks have given us a lot. I mean, we started paddling those babies, so you have to remember it. Now we've got motors, but they also make nets. Oh my gosh, they have anything that you would say, attach your rod holders, anything attached to that kayak to make it fishable. Yak Attack is going to have every product that you need. It really is. And like I said,
I noticed every Bassmaster Classic, the kayak session gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
It really does. And everybody is realizing that that's kind of where the market is. A lot of you guys that bass fish, I mean, have you guys ever been in a kayak? Have you fished from a kayak before?
I mean, a couple times, yeah.
I mean, and not all kayaks are created equal. At this point, I have a fishing kayak. Like, I stand on my kayak.
Yep.
My seat is probably the most important thing to me because I spend a lot of time sitting in it. If I'm not standing, I'm sitting. And it's such a good seat. I mean, I told you, those old kayaks almost killed us. You know, we weren't.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, you know, when you guys go to buy a nice kayak, it's kind of one of those situations where it's just like anything else. Some more, not always. I mean, you have options. You can paddle, or you can use a motor like me. It took me a long time. I went through every single stage until I got here. The only reason I got a motor is my husband asked me, he said, you can either get I was married for 20 years. He said, you can either get yourself a new ring or you can get a motor. I said, I'm getting a motor.
Yeah, you already have the ring.
I have the ring. I needed a motor. He had one. He got one. His mom spoiled him rotten and got him one for Christmas. And he would tow me around. I couldn't get there as fast as he could. I was so bummed. But they have rules. So he's like, we got to get you your own. He's like, plus, I'm seriously tired of pulling you around.
Yeah.
So the day it's an incredible story. The day he got his motor, we actually decided to take it to our one of the championships and just give her hell, try our best.
Right.
And we got up. I took us. I told you I was the map reader, and so I took us to. I always get us in trouble because I can't stop going. But I found this really incredible we had to even check to see if it was like a place where you can unload, because there's rules. It has to be public, accessible by the public to get out in these places. Anyway, I took him clear up in this river system type. It was so beautiful, you guys. I knew we could have won it there. I saw a fish. I saw a bait, and he actually hooked me up. And Bassmaster had a rule at the time where you could tether. And I'm like, oh, we are in business. So we went clear up there. We had to scoot. You can't get out of your boat. You had to scoot. The water was only about this. So I shimmied my kayak. I'm heavy. By the time you get all that stuff on, your kayak's heavy. I shimmy up there and I look back. My husband does not have the balance I do. I know he doesn't. So I look back and I'm like, can you make it? So I sent him finally use his paddle and we got clear up in there. And you guys, I would say 2 days probably prior to that, they had a bunch of storms, let's say 50, 60 miles from there.
Yep.
I asked Dustin, I was like, what is that noise? Like, what is that? It sounded like a waterfall. It did. If I wouldn't have been such a nerd and so excited about how beautiful it was, I would have noticed that there was foam on the water. But I didn't. I mean, it was so different. We got to where we couldn't really go anymore, like to the top, like you're at the place. There's almost a reservoir there. I start looking and look over and there's like trash coming down, like rolling from up like the stream. Upstream looks like trash.
Yep.
And in front of it looks like foam. You guys, I want you to know that when we went, it was complete tall grass, trees. We had to scoot through little places to get up in there. When that water came down, that flood water came down, we were stuck up in there and we had to go. I rode the rapids, like it was rapids. I made it down, lost a couple of things, but my husband now has a motor. He has so much more weight on his, and he went down that so fast. I heard him crash. I knew he'd fallen off. The water rapids were going all over. He made it to this. I grabbed the side of some grass and went straight to the shore. You were going to fill up in there and no way to get out. So I went ahead and rode down and I ramped. I put my hands in the air. So I ramped. I knew my husband. I told you he didn't have good balance. I knew he wasn't going to make it. And he almost died because he went underneath his boat. We couldn't get him back up. Ooh. He was cut up. He was stuck in the rocks. It was terrifying. He lost all of his gear, his fishing rods. We managed his brand new motor that he'd just gotten was submerged. The remote to it was submerged over, and the only thing that saved him was his catchboard. He's my husband. I'm not this way. I should learn to be, because I haven't tipped over like that. But my husband had tethered everything on, so he was able to keep a lot of his stuff. He had no shoes, no paddle. We were clear up, and finally it spread out, and it finally went down, but not before we were both cut. I got hooked. It was a giant mess. However, we would go the next day and at least recover. We didn't catch shit for fish the next day, but we fully recovered, got back on our boats. He had to go get a new phone. He lost his phone in the lake. Oh, it was terrible. There's still some disadvantages to being a kayak person, but I can fish such skinny water, you guys. The fish up in there, you can't get a boat up in there.
I love skinny water. I love skinny water.
Skinny water's good. That's where the gators are too, though.
Yeah.
We don't have gators, but we fished at Lake Fork. They do.
Oh yeah.
We actually fished in those old boats at Lake Fork like that. We could have been lunch. We could have been lunch. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad things turned out for the best. And Barking Ruger says he loves the raw content that our guests provide. It tells true stories. It's not, all made up and to help them sell product. And
That's right. Well, you get what you get when you get me. I'm kind of a ornery little fisherman. I'm here for the fun and to talk to everybody and enjoy the fishing of it and brag about my big fish.
Yep.
I really love to fish. My mom, I had uncles and they used to take me. My mom's brother, my mom's sister's husband, he really kind of just wingmanned me, taught me all those skills. He was a white bass fisherman, and a walleye fisherman. And they're just like a whole different level of good. I can't even claim. I feel like a walleye fisherman just has so much more talent than I do. I literally am trying to catch the same fish for 20 minutes,
Yep.
But I don't know. I've grown up with all those men in my life to teach me that. And so it's no different. My mom had lots of brothers. It's no different than hanging out with them and them giving me a hard time. And I feel like it's just I just grew up around a lot of men in my life. So now I'm like a ladies' man. I like men. I prefer to hang out with a bunch of fishermen that are old, stinky, sweaty, hot, no judging. They're just like, oh, you fish, ma'am? I mean, I'll still have my run-of-the-mill guy that's like, will talk over me and doesn't think I can fish, but it's okay. I'm still paying attention. And eventually when I come, eventually I told myself that 2023 was my year and I had to kind of bump it up because we had some, we changed jobs and did a few things differently, but I was like, okay, it's 2024. 2024 is my year.
There you go.
I think it's actually my daughter's graduation year, so I might have to bump it up. No, I know that we're headed in the right direction. I feel like we try to take a little bit of a faithful approach. I do anyway, and
Sure.
To keep it. I don't know. This is just what I want to do. This is where I'm supposed to be. I think I don't know anything else really. I mean, I could probably do marketing in any other industry, but it wouldn't be as fun.
Yep.
At least I know what I'm talking about. I know rods and reels and knots and I also had to learn that stuff so I could market about it. How the heck was I going to market about it if I didn't learn?
That's one of the things that I say. There's too many people out there willing to accept a 10% discount without knowing any of the product. And
and I hate to say it, we've all done it. We've all been a part of it just to be a part of something. But in the long run, you do the work and you're kind of silly at the end. But there's a level. You guys see, I really try hard. If you can notice me, I'm doing something right. I don't know everybody. I don't know all the people that follow me. I pick out some people that normally do follow me, that they come back and I get to know them. But I really take the time to get to know them. I learn where they're from. And that way, when we go to these events, there's a good chance, you guys, when we go into a Bassmaster event or ICAST, I see a lot of the people I interact with. And we are like, what? You are here. Like, I kid you not. I went to a lake north of my home, an hour and a half north of here. And there was a gentleman. He walked all the way around. I was like, oh, it's the game warden. How annoying. Like, I always have my fishing license. I thought it was him, but he came all the way around, right? And he was like, from that far away, you guys, he goes, are you Kayak for Life, Jen Mues? And I'm like, oh, that's weird. That is so weird. What is that? He's like, oh, I'm off Twitter. He's like, I love watching you fish. He's like, my name's Matt. He's like, I've been watching you fish for a lot of years. I'm like, oh, he's like, I actually just moved to the area. I took a job at Cabela's. He's like, I noticed. He's like, I was looking for a fishing hole. He's like, I saw this lady fishing and with her husband. He's like, I'm gonna go check that place out. So it turns out we meet him, and he's actually from the, where the kayak bass fishing national championship's gonna be the following year.
Cool.
And he's like, oh, my dad lives there. We fish that lake. I'm like, oh my goodness, you do what? So we met him and we've become good friends. We've actually stayed at Matt's house now. He's the pastor's son. He was single at the time. He's still single. We would stay with him and go to, we fished and he showed us a lot. We didn't win, but man, we were able to map that place out. And of course, he still complains and says Kentucky Lake doesn't have any bass. It just has, what do you call them? The
Asian carp.
The carp.
Yep.
He's like, screw this place. It sucks. But they do have bass.
Yeah,
but
it's getting better. It's getting better over there.
Well, no, I think the kayakers are giving away too many secrets, and the bass boaters can't get up there.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe not.
No. I do have to agree with Pam. I don't know if I'd like to be that up close and personal with gators in a kayak.
You guys, we have taken our weapons on it, but I literally got my fish so fast out of the water.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw life vests, and some guy really tripped me out because when we were unloading, he's like, "Oh, you don't pick up anything out of the water here. There's dead bodies in this lake." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, and then a gal told me, she's like, "Well, if the gators get you, they hide you anyway, so they'll never find you." I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
I thought about it. I had a buddy, old gentleman. He would tell me he was fishing the same tournament, but he had a motor. At that time, we didn't have motors, you guys. So, like, that's even dumber. I think about it now, and I see some of them in there, but you don't have any fear. Like, we've been doing this for a long time. We were so excited to be there. I know that everybody was laughing. I knew they were when we came in these, like, toy kayaks. But we have worked so hard. We don't have toy kayaks no more.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
The field is even now.
The field is even. Well, I mean, I don't have any of those fancy electronics, but I also don't have the time to learn it. I do use electronics a lot, but I don't have any front-facing sonar. My husband has the capabilities. I would like to watch. I've been watching some Bassmaster because and Major League Fishing because I work for them, for the people, you know. I'm shocked at how it works. It's interesting, but I don't know. I answered a poll today, and I decided I wasn't really sure that it seemed fair to the fish. I mean, there were so many records broke at Lake Fork this last time. It was weird. It just wasn't even right. I almost started to feel like it should only be for for game and parks or what have you, just because it didn't seem crap. You guys know how hard it is on a fish that size to like keep catching it. Like I feel like they're almost fragile that big, you know? I don't know. I'm also the girl that really wants to catch one that big. So it's kind of a toss up for me. Like, do I want that big fish? But I don't use a lot. I use a lot of mine to make sure my motor's not scraping for depth. But I also spent some time recalibrating mine. I watched videos all day when it was fishing, crappy fishing. I listened to some videos on how to run my fish finder. It went from like looking like Tetris to a solid video good game. I'm like, what have I been missing? I didn't know you had to turn up the megahertz and all that jazz and fix it. I mean, I'm the girl that took it out of the box, and my husband got it all ready. I'm like, turn it on, let's go. No, it doesn't work that way. You really do need to learn how to use it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
the forward-facing sonar does, it teaches a lot about fish behavior, like Pam is saying.
Yes, I want that for my own personal knowledge. I don't know. I just want to, just let me really scope that. My brain will totally eat that up, and just let me learn from that. I feel like my off-water game sucks because we live in Nebraska. Like, we're bank beaters around here. There's not a lot of depth where I'm at. But I think it's a whole new ball game when you start looking at structure underwater, and your electronics are helping you that way. But gosh, I was watching and they're scanning the whole field. Like, I'm looking like below me. I just didn't understand like the depth of that. That's incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. It still doesn't seem quite right. I mean, but we're all gonna be hunchbacks looking down. I told Dustin, like, how do they bring their screens up? Like, you're all like getting bent over for months. But I sit in a kayak all day and my back hurts, so I don't know what the difference would be.
Barking Rugers is a electronics guru. He says, whenever you want to get those units fully tuned up, swing down here, and he'll get you and Dustin all set up.
Yeah, he set up some Bass Pro Tour guys. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
I had to watch like 20 hours of videos to do mine. So, wow, where were you earlier? No.
He was in pounding off the alligators down in southern Louisiana.
Golly. That's the first thing every tournament. I'm like, do you guys have alligators here? I always want to know. It's not that. Gosh, Texas, you guys, there were so many snakes. Weird snakes everywhere. And you finally just have to get used to it because there were little ones that would just pop up all the time and big red ones. Justin's like, that's one of them Diamondbacks. I'm like, I don't know what it is. That's a hell no for me. But they had a lot of flooding around that time. And it was just, man, the fishing was crap because it was so flooded. But man, in that area, we didn't have the right stuff then. We do now. We've come so far. Simply by trusting your gut. The old rules, never leave fish to find fish. Come on, guys, remind us of that rule right away.
Oh, yeah.
Catch. Simple things that really have worked for us, you know. I've messed around with a lot of knots, and I say to hell with it and go with polymer every time because it's reliable. I also break all the rules. I am a braid fisherman. I don't care. You can tell me all you want. You can tell me until you're blue in the face, and I will not change my mind. I will fish 40 to 60 pound braid every time. I'll fish the hard lumber, the timber. But I like to fish a buzzbait. And I don't know. I've been messing around with some jerk baits because we have cold water here. I feel like that's effective.
Oh yeah.
I definitely know you gained another fan in Barking Rugers because I think 50 pound is his.
That's his crappie setup, I think.
50-pound test for crappie fishing? That's not right. No, I mean, at least you get your lure back, right, bro?
That's right.
Or, you know, a car or a piece of wire. I caught some wire yesterday, or day before yesterday.
Or an oak tree. It'll pull up an oak tree, too.
And I've had to get to where I wrap around my coat because that stuff is dangerous and will cut you up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I got a brand new coat, and some guy I hooked myself, and my husband is such a gem. He does not rip it out. He takes his time and gets it all out. But this guy, I was at a tournament. I needed help. I was stuck to my own lure. It was a big lure, huge, and he cut my coat to get it off.
Oh.
I said thank you, and I was like, oh my god, he cut my coat off. He cut my coat. I tease that guy. He's my good friend now, and I tell him, I'm like, man, you remember that time you cut my coat up at that tournament? I'm like, I still hate you for that.
Oh.
I'm mine. I don't.
So
No.
I do have a difficult question to ask you.
Tell me.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What is your favorite homemade cookie?
What?
I told you it was the toughest question you're going to get tonight.
My favorite homemade cookie. You guys, have you ever had a cornflake cookie? It's old school.
Oh.
No.
Dustin's mom makes a cookie out of cornflakes. And it's what's it called? Oh, Frosted Flakes. I'm going to mess it up.
Oh, okay.
Flakes. You're like, cornflakes. That's for chicken. No, Frosted Flakes. And you guys, I don't know if she's butterscotch chips in there or something, but it's my favorite cookie of all time. She gave us some for Christmas, and we froze them, and I ate like 4 of the balls before I put them on the plate to bake them. So you have to look them up. I now that you asked me about cookies, I'll be like, you would think I'm a baker. I do bake, guys. You guys, I fish, and I'm just like you. I want jerky and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I'm ready to go fishing and I don't have time to cook.
There you go.
No, I love to cook. No. My husband and I cook a lot here. We spend a lot of time cooking. I think my best is Mexican food. I still cook. I still do lady things, but I like to fish.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
That's right. What's your favorite cookie?
Mine? I'm a sugar cookie guy.
How boring. I want some crunch. I'm teasing you.
Actually, the reason I asked that question is my wife is a baker.
Oh, that's nice. Somebody has to be because it's not me.
And she her and I a couple years ago had a podcast, and that's the one question. And she doesn't know much about fishing.
Yeah,
and she'll tell you.
She wanted to know what kind of cookie. You tell your wife to make you those cookies. Tell her to look for corn. It's an old recipe. I'll send it to you. You're gonna get that, and then you're gonna tell me if that is not the best freaking cookie. I mean, okay. a sugar cookie, you do have to have a good recipe for it.
Yeah.
But you've not. Unless my husband's out, he's like frosted flake cookies all the way.
That does sound good. That does sound good.
I'm telling you, it's good. I don't know if she puts brickle in it or why. We'll get you the recipe. You're gonna eat it. I mean, I don't. You're gonna like it.
See now, now when you and Dustin both come on in a couple months, because we'll have you both on. He'll already know what the question is, so we'll have to come up with something else.
It's by that time you'll have eaten it, and then you can give me a review.
There you go. Right.
By that time you've eaten it, and you'll be like, okay, so I have to tell you that Jen made me a believer, and I no longer love. Say it with me now, sugar cookies.
And Barking Ruger says, hell yeah, it does. Now I got to get my wife onto that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, that's what, I mean, I still take that stuff fishing with us anyway. I have a snack bag. I mean, and usually I'm into my snacks and trying to fish at the same time too.
We're also at the time where we like to let you talk about your sponsors. You know,
okay. This time I'm going to cheat. I got my phone so that I didn't forget anybody.
You're smart. And I have your Facebook page pulled up. So, no.
That way I wouldn't forget.
And it looks like we might have somebody in common.
Oh, yeah? Tell me which one.
No, I'll let you figure it out.
Oh, okay. If I can even get there. I'm on my old phone here. Okay, look. I'm still in your podcast, so I have to get out of it. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so let's start. I love me some Bonafide. My boat is a phenomenal boat. I mean, if you guys are looking for a kayak fishing boat that's affordable, and then you can add all these bells and whistles to, that's your boat. They've got a new Power 129 that just come out, so it's all ready for plug and play. You guys can look at that. This is a great company. I also do Rogue Gear. Rogue Gear is going to be all my tethering. That way I don't drop. I've dropped a lot of funds in the water, y'all.
Yeah. It happens.
I've about got a divorce over the last one because it was a good one. So
oops.
We tethered those bad boys now. No, you got to tether those up. And they have, I have to deploy my motor. My motor guide still has the pedal, right? And they haven't quite made it to where that pedal is, that's a pain in the butt. I don't want to have to get up and push the pedal with my foot. I would like it to be automatic. And I'm sure that they have changes for that, and I could do that. But right now, I have it to where I have a leash on it, and I deploy the motor not all the way, just a bit. And so I push my paddle out to go ahead and put my motor guide in the water. And then my leash is there to help me pull it back up. That way it's not flopping over and making a noise by the time you get it. But those leashes are so affordable. Even the one for my phone's $20 and under. You get them from Apple phones, Android. This is a lifesaver. Save your phone. Don't drop it in the lake.
Definitely.
Rock Porch I told you about is new, and that's good for everybody. Check it out because they have affiliated links. If you are a sponsored angler like I am, you can use those links and make. I want you to know that the gal that leads their, she's made over $300,000, okay, in affiliated.
Wow.
Links. So don't mess around. She's beautiful. She's hunts and fishes. But that lady is a normal average Joe, just like me. And I've worked with them for the last 3 years. I'm going to put the pedal to the metal, do a little bit more for them this year. But that's Rock Porch. I have a rod sponsor. My rod sponsor is Girls Fish Better. We also have clothing. The rods are coming in a series of 3. They're called the Obsession Rod Series, just for women in the fishing industry like myself. They I have 2 bait casters and 1 spinning. They're 7.6. I believe they're you'll have to look at the specs. Medium fast action for 1. But that's the rod that I feature in my cover photo here. I love these rods. There's just, like I said, a series of 3. I have 2 sets of them. I had the first when we first got them, and then I got a secondary set. And so I feel good. I got my 6 rods. They all match. They look good. I've done a lot of promoting for, let me see here. See my cover photo here. Line Cutters has been an OG from the beginning. We use their products to cut our line. I used to bite mine, and I have a prominent like braid biting tooth over here. Don't bite your line; it messes up your teeth. I hook mine onto my motor guide, so I just cut everything off. It gets you pretty close. I have a ring. They have the new scissor clips, and then they have on my coats. I have their the zipper line cutters.
I got that. That's awesome. They work
I use that. These are all affordable, and their marketing, you guys. I don't get tons of product from them. I don't need it. Their marketing is huge. We will meet them down at the event. We'll meet them at ICAST, work their booths. These people, Lance and his brother, fun, good times. They're always great people.
Great guys. Great guys. I've met them before. Great guys.
Great guys. One objective is my bow mount, and they also do a lot with kayak compatibility parts. Their bow mounts were a big deal because we wanted to mount a motor guide to my kayak. And, if you have a torpedo on the back, they also have some of those bow mounts. Z-Pro is my lithium battery company. I have the 12 amp 100 hour for my kayak, and that'll get me about optimal conditions, 15 miles, way better than my old marine battery. I could go a long way in 15 miles, pretty much anywhere I want to go. And I've gone a long ways.
And a lot lighter weight too.
It's so much lighter. I got a little bit more get up and go and speed because I lightened up my boat. I'm not, so far down in the water anymore either. Let's see. We are still in the process. We just joined Casking. Casking's been pretty big. They're going to change some things up. I've got some stuff to do for them before we go full balls to the walls here. Hooked Outdoor TV is, you can watch this on, we have it to where we watch it through our Roku. We have commercials on there right now. They're working on a new marketing campaign for them, but it's outdoor TV. It's your actual, eventually we'd like to put ourselves, when we haven't gotten that far, we've been doing the commercials right now, but eventually we'd like to put all of our Team Mues stuff on Hooked Outdoor TV so you could watch it from Roku and watch it in your living room,
Gotcha.
We have, we don't do some of these anymore. This angler needs to be updated. But Golitas grubs, like I spoke to you guys about earlier, I would love you guys to, if you ever had a chance to get old John on here. He's a superb man. He has one. It's a simple. He used to run. I believe he had a big bait and tackle store years ago. And like I said, he was here 1979. I think in the 70s he did a lot of the Bassmaster stuff back then.
Okay.
Super nice guy. Let me see here. Now this one here, I should give them a shout out. We like to do some every once in a while. We were hired or asked if we would do some work with some veterans, and Gene, what is that there? That's the it's another podcast. But we actually did some work for Gene out in our area for some anglers, some veterans out here.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of.
Cool.
What is it? Oh, yeah. I couldn't see it on here. It's True Patriot Outfitters. My phone only lets me blow it up so big, so it's like minor, or I'm like microscopic. Let me see here. What else do I got? We do some. I'm a big part of the American Tackle because we use the microwave guides. And we've actually went to the feather lights without the ceramic, which is really nice. I'm constantly losing my ceramic bead or my ring out of the top. And once you do that, I broke off $125 lure once. Dustin wouldn't go get it. I'm like, you're taller. He wouldn't get it for me. The water was too. He's like, I ain't doing it. That ain't gonna happen. But I do love those guides, and my rod builder is a big proponent of those guides. So American Tackle has reached out to us and asked us to do things for them as well. Angler is no longer a thing right now. They may come back in. I refuse to take it off. I love the technology. We used to have the Angler app button where we did all of our, gosh, it was so fun when it was in its prime. They had inside that app, they had, it was a GPS. Whenever I caught a fish, I would push my button and it would mark my spot and I put in what I caught it on and so on and so forth. They had some issues, with the company and I believe it was a very simple thing that all the product that they had bought, their batteries died all at the same time. They didn't buy them in series, so it kind of put them through a loop. However, fast forward, I still loved the technology. I mean, if somebody would totally go in there and revamp that up, I mean, we loved using that tool. They also had things that you like games and competitions and tournaments inside the app that you could do. And we won things and oh man, it was a good time. If they could ever get that started back up, that would be great. But I always refuse to take it off there because we love the technology so much. I'm like, somebody please bring this back. Who else? I don't think I really forgot anybody else. There's a couple on here. I think I've really discussed about everybody, but Wicked Wakes. Wicked Wakes, these people have always cheered us on, and we need tungsten. Tungsten's expensive. And these people, Kevin and all of them, they absolutely treat us like $1 million. So we had a chance to meet a lot of these people at different functions and events, and we tried to fish with what's his name, honey, that owns it? What is it?
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's wrong.
Jim Sperone.
Yes.
Yep.
Jim.
Jim. Yep.
Jim loves us. He's good to us. I'm drawing blanks because my brain's like farting, but Jim is such a good man, and he's cheered us on all the way. I feel like the people that really do support us, like yourself, I mean, they get on there, and we're just normal, average Joes. We have kids. I like dogs. I like to fish. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple life. I have kids and sports, and that's really all I do. I mean, and you're going to find people that are similar to you. And like you're like, yeah, I like what she does. I like what.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Dustin like to compete. And that keeps everybody kind of laughing like, come on. We hope she whips him someday. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm whipping this guy. Jim Sperone. He's so good to us. Jim really is good. And Kevin's good to us. So some of these sponsors do more than others. But again, you really want people to pay it forward and to promote you as well. And that's a big part of it.
Kevin's going to be a guest on here. I want to say next month.
Jim is?
No, Kevin.
Kevin. Yeah. Oh, Kevin's lovely. Kevin's lost a ton of weight. He's half the guy that he used to be. He's doing like, him and his wife are doing great.
They both are. I'm like, send me a picture. He goes, wait until I get my new shirt.
You have to be like, I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah.
Right?
He's funny. He's a good guy. He sent me my daughter got me, I should have, everybody told me to tell you guys that I wasn't going to be able to make it today because it was April Fool's.
Yeah.
And I decided not to. My niece is like, just tell him you can't make it. I'm like, nah, I better not, because what if I can't get back on? Anyway, I joked around. My daughter called me this morning, and Dustin's mom set her up to it. She spent the night there after Easter with her cousins, and she called me this morning to tell me that they live on the lake road. My husband's mom does. And really weird stuff happens because you live on the lake road. There's always people walking, people get stranded. It's just how it works, right? She told me that her car got stolen this morning. And I was so mad. I hung up on her. I didn't think about it being April Fool's. I'm like, Dylan, are you kidding me?
It's too early in the morning for that.
I told her, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, you left your, she's like, I went to move my car up at grandma's house. It is dangerous right there. So she's like, I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah. So I went out there and it's not there. I'm like, excuse me, Dalen, seriously, don't even. Okay. Mind you, he just hit a deer at the beginning of the school year with her car. And I was just like, I thought she was going to tell me she crashed again or something. I have a kid, Yeah. And she's like, no, it's worse. It's gone. I'm like, oh no. I look at her dad and I'm like, Dustin, call the police. I guess your daughter's car is stolen. What do you do? And she's like, but then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? It's stupid April Fool's, isn't it? That's what I told Dustin. And I'm like, I'm not going to answer her. And I heard her kind of yelling, Mom, no. I hung up and I let it 5 minutes. I wanted them to think I was calling the police because she had tricked me. I was like, she finally called back and she's like, Mom, I'm just kidding. I can hear Dustin's mom rolling in the background, laughing, carrying on. I'm like, you guys.
Hey, no cookies for her. No cookies for her.
Well, she's the baker, but she ain't getting it. No. No. But yeah, I got the wool pulled over my eyes this morning. Did you guys get pranked today?
Nah, it was a pretty good day.
Just wait. There's still it's early yet. It's early yet.
That's true. That's
One
true.
of your wives come up pregnant. You know what happened?
That would be a miracle. That'd be like what, Abraham or something.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I'm too old. I couldn't use that trick anymore. I was like, well, that won't work for me. But well, I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, we appreciate you
coming on. And like I said, we want to get you and Dustin on and talk about what it's like to have be a fishing family.
Yeah.
Like with Rob and I, we both try to fish, and our spouses are, his spouse is a teacher. My spouse is in the jewelry and baking and stuff, and
they're regular folks. I'm a regular.
Oh yeah.
So
talk about Cast King. That deadbolt reel is awesome. Try that deadbolt reel they got. That is the
I actually tried their we did the Mega Jaws, okay?
Yep.
And I want you to know that SOB can cast you across the pond. Dustin and I, we took it out. I hate to interrupt this, but we took those out, and I looked at him. He was like, "Damn!" He's like, "Does yours cast clear across the lake?" I'm like, "Yeah." That was I've used a lot of reels in my life, but that Cast King, by far, the Mega Jaws casted me clear across the pond.
Yeah, they're good. They're good stuff.
It's still really smooth. I haven't backlashed in it yet either. I had a I actually did a number where I casted and caught my rod behind me.
Yep.
And I took my old line cutters and I just put that rod right back and said, "See ya."
Yep.
I didn't have time for that. I tried taking it out and I was like, no. But my Cast Kings have not ever backlashed on me. They've got some new ones that have the automatic braking in it too.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you guys seen the one that has where you hook to your mobile apps?
Yeah.
I was surprised it didn't go as good as what it should have, where it's AI or anyway, like a mobile app.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried it yet. I haven't tried that yet.
That's a neat concept.
We will get into some of their I think they primarily want you to use their products, which is known. That's how it goes. But we have to get our product allotment first before we get to use all the other stuff. We just have reels right now. We've been using my cousin uses the rods a lot and really likes the rods. So I know my rod builder is putting Cast Kings on his rods, the Girls Fish Betters, to cross promote for me. So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. And be looking forward to you and Dustin coming on sometime. And
you just hit me up and you text me the same way. I will read through what you write, not stand here for like 5 hours.
No, you're good. You're good.
I got it now. I'm like, he said 3 to 5.
I apologize for the confusion. And I try to make sure I put Eastern on all the.
I know, and I saw that, but I read through the 3 to 5. You're like, no, I'll just send you a message at that time. I'm like, oh, we're getting on it 3 to 5. I get it now. I mean, sometimes just depends on the day. Sometimes I've got it all down pat, and other times I'm like, wait a second, wait, what? I had to re-ask him, like, so wait, when was this scheduled?
Yep.
I thought I missed something. I just read it wrong and totally
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. We'll see you in the next few weeks, and you holler at me and Dustin, and we'll jump back on here, and you'll get a lot of fun because we're super competitive even when we talk. So
cool.
It'll be a good time.
All right.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right. See you. Thank you. All right. See you. Well, I need some borrow some of her energy.
You're not alone.
You have to ask the missus about them cookies. You got to try to have the missus make some of them cookies for you.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'm going to be waiting on that in the inbox for that recipe.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So, whew. Yeah, I'm scrolling through her social media. I'm like,
yeah, she's done everything. I mean, it's where'd she find the time? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. It's like, I thought I used to be good with time management.
I did too. And I seen her. I was like, no, I'm not even the same league. I'm way out.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Let's see. Who do we got on tomorrow? Any idea?
I slept since then, man. I can't remember what I ate for lunch today.
No, we have the Sea Bolts go out on tomorrow.
Oh, yep, that's right. And look forward to that, man. They all over the place. You see them all over Facebook and social media. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, same here. Can't wait. So
definitely.
All right, everybody. Anything else you want to talk about, Rob? Before we head on?
No. One quick thing talking about the Gators. I know Bark and Rugers I used to have a P-row, which is like a little homemade like canoe, and I'd be paddling. And when I was a kid, like 13, 14, I had this big log, and I started pushing off on it, and it moved. It was a gator bigger than my P-row was. I was like, I went that way, and he went that way. I don't know who it scared more, me or him, but we both skedaddled. So... Barker Riggers, so how that goes. He goes, Kathunk. Yeah, he familiar. I figured he would.
Yeah.
Good OP Rose.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time to me.
Nah, that was pretty scary, especially a kid like me, 13 or 14 years old. That's a wake-up call. Okay, I got to be a little more careful.
Yeah, I hear you.
But, look forward to Seabolt Squad. Thank for everybody tuning in. Give us a like and subscribe. We really appreciate you, and we'll check in with you tomorrow night.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. Y'all take care.
Peace out.